Hello there everyone, it's Aidan here from Push Square with Stephen Tailby's review of Lumines Arise. Let's see if this one's worth checking out in our PS5 review. In many ways, Lumines Arise represents the series reclaiming its own legacy. Tetris Effect is fantastic, of course, but its fancy lights and catchy music can be traced all the way back to 2004, when the original Lumines gave the PSP a puzzle game to rival the timeless classic. Lumines Arise then adopts a similar style and flow to Tetris Effect, but it feels right at home here, the game's core design fitting perfectly with the emphasis on light, colour and sound. Developers Enhance and Monstars not only pull off the same trick, they do so to even greater success, with stunning visuals and an excellent soundtrack combining to create the best realisation of what Lumines has always strived to be. The focal point of this musical puzzler is Journey Mode, which will be very familiar to any Tetris Effect fans. It's here that you'll play through several sets of stages, each one of them providing a unique look and vibe as you drop blocks into the grid. Whether it's the stuff going on in the background or the blocks themselves, each stage contributes an entirely different energy. You'll be watching astronauts dancing in zero gravity, slicing up fruit and vegetables, raving with chameleons, riding train tracks at full speed and so much more. With more elaborate scenes and visual flair than Tetris Effect, Enhance has outdone itself. The presentation is excellent, and playing through Journey is every bit as enjoyable here as in its spiritual predecessor. If anything, there are rare occasions where the visual stimulus can be a tad too much, but fortunately the game features many accessibility options that allow you to tune the experience, reducing the effects and animations for less potent, more straightforward presentation. For those that don't know, Lumines is all about forming 2x2 squares with matching colours or patterns, which are then cleared away when the timeline passes over them. The timeline is synced up to the tempo of whatever music is playing at the time, meaning every stage has a different speed and intensity dictated by the soundtrack. Just like Tetris, the fundamentals are easy to understand, but there's a high skill ceiling that means dedicated players can utilise advanced techniques and make the most of incremental combo multipliers and building larger shapes with well-positioned drops. The new burst mechanic is a great addition that literally levels the playing field. Once you've built up enough bursts, represented as a percentage above the timeline, you can trigger it, temporarily stopping matched squares from being cleared. What this does is allow you to build a huge screen-filling burst combo of a single colour, with the opposing blocks flying above the grid. Once your burst is cleared, all those floating blocks fall back down, creating another massive combo. Not only does it score you a lot of points, it's very effective in clearing the grid if you're running out of room. It's incredibly satisfying. Anybody intimidated by learning a new puzzle game needn't worry, because Lumines Arise has a seriously robust list of training modules in missions mode. Beyond the basic tutorial, there are dozens of lessons that teach you how to stack blocks efficiently to get the most from each scenario. It's about as comprehensive as you could hope for. Once you've cleared Journey Mode, you unlock Survival Mode and Challenges. The former tasks you with playing through every journey stage with no breaks. This is similar to what's known as the Basic Challenge in past Lumines titles and represents a pretty stern test of skills. Keeping things going for 36 stages really is a tall order. The latter is located in missions and gives you a big list of entirely different ways to play. For example, Hatch has you clearing squares adjacent to an egg in order to break it open. To the Beat is a challenge where blocks fall right on the beat of the music, whereas Chains focuses on using chain blocks to carve paths through the playfield. Much like the effects mode in Tetris Effect, there are so many inventive challenges here, each giving you a fresh way to engage with the core mechanics. It's quite comfortably the most complete set of single player features ever compiled for Lumines. And on top of all that is the multiplayer hub, which contains even more stuff to do. The headline multiplayer mode is Burst Battle, a one-on-one competitive mode in which clearing squares and building combos will send garbage blocks to your opponents. You can use the burst mechanic as both an offensive and defensive maneuver. Relying on skill-based matchmaking to pit you against similarly ranked players, you're getting a decent match more often than not. It's easily the best multiplayer options Lumines has had to date. You don't have to play ranked either. You can create custom rooms where you can play locally, invite friends for private games, or even just compete against AI. Now, the icing on the cake is full PSVR 2 support, and it's typically great stuff from Enhance. Playing in virtual reality is a different experience because the 3D animated backdrops of each stage really come into their own, adding scale and depth that just isn't possible on a TV screen. If you have a PSVR 2 available to you, it's absolutely worth playing through Journey mode and really losing yourself in the sights and sounds. We'd recommend playing with the DualSense over the PSVR 2 Sense controllers though. This is a game best played with access to a D-pad. It's difficult to find fault with the game, frankly, though there are one or two small things to consider. Firstly, it came as somewhat of a surprise to learn that it doesn't support HDR. A game so rich with colour and contrast seems built for the technology, so it's a small disappointment that it couldn't be implemented here. It's still a wonderfully vibrant game without HDR however, so we aren't too worried about that one. Secondly, the game's frame rate is deliciously smooth, running at 60 frames per second 99% of the time. There are some rare drops though, and in our experience, they come when a burst is complete and the boards fill with tons of blocks. It's infrequent and is only there for a split second, but it stands out in a game that's otherwise very well optimized. So following up on the brilliant Tetris Effect was no easy feat, but Enhance has done it with Lumines Arise. At its core is an excellent puzzle game with lots of depth and mechanics that gel perfectly with the emphasis on music and spectacular visuals. It's jam-packed with fun features that provide so many different ways to play, including a series best multiplayer and a great range of challenge modes. There are some very minor gripes if we're being really picky, but fans can rest assured that this is the big, flashy comeback that Lumines deserves. We're giving Lumines Arise a 9 out of 10. Thank you so much for checking out our review of Lumines Arise. Let us know down in the comments below whether you plan to pick this one up and eventually what you would score it. And while you're at it, why not like the video and subscribe to the channel for more PlayStation video content just like this. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging around. That's it from me today. So until next time, I've been Aaron and this has been Push Square.